Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Car Question. We're going to continue our series of video about the BMW i3, but right now we're going to talk about specification and road handling of this car. You're going to see that BMW did think differently than the other manufacturers. It's a rear-wheel drive, so it's following the philosophy of the BMW vehicle where you want to have fun driving, the road handling, you know, that feeling when you get into a curve of a rear-wheel drive car. And also, electric vehicles usually have a lot of torque. You press on the accelerator, it's all there, so you won't have, you know, that feeling where you're losing traction in front. So that's a good thing for the rear-wheel drive. During winter, well, it's another thing. The battery, the main ingredient of electric car, it's bigger this year. For 2017, it's a 33 kilowatt per hour Li-ion battery developed with Samsung. So it's 94 ampere hours. You will have an autonomy of 200 kilometers with this one. So it's a major improvement from last year. But when I say 200 kilometers, you have to be careful with your autonomy. You have to adapt your style of driving, and you have to choose the proper drive mode for this one. So when you look at the numbers, the engine is going to be able to produce 170 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. You've got a direct drive, so you don't lose any power through the transmission, a manual, automatic. No, you just switch a gear through with that nice shifter right there, and there you go, you're ready to go. But right now, we've got a unique version of that BMW i3. We've got the Rex, the range extender option. This is perfect for those who have the fear of not having enough electric power. And you just put some gas in the car and you will be able to do more kilometers. You've got that small two-cylinder engine which is right over the rear wheels. So as soon as the battery will reach 6.5%, you will hear that engine start and it's going to be able to produce power to pour that into the battery. So it's the same thing as a generator. So this 647cc engine, or 0.6 liter if you prefer, doesn't take much space in the rear. It's the same luggage space that you will have with or without the option. If you want to know the numbers, 38 horsepower at 5,000 RPM, 41 pound-feet of torque at 4,500 RPM, but it doesn't matter because it's not connected to the wheels, so it's not a combined numbers of power. You will have around, because right now some papers don't have the same information, 130 kilometers of autonomy with that fuel that you're going to put in this car, or 150. But once again, it's going to be while you're going to be driving in an eco-friendly way. So probably lower the climatization, stay far from the heated seat, and you will be probably able to reach those numbers in perfect condition out there. Don't expect to do that during the winter. For the fuel capacity, it's 9 liters and it recommends premium. I was surprised to see that in the fuel door. So when we talk about consumption of electricity, it's going to be around 12.6 kilowatt per hours per 100 kilometers. If you add the engine, well, fuel economy is going to be important because now you're going to be running on that system. So it's around 6.5 liter per 100 kilometers or 7 liter while you're going to be on the highway. But this car with the combined numbers, we've been able to do really good numbers even if it was winter on ice. But the thing is, you have to select the proper drive mode. But first, let's talk about charging that battery. Well, it's empty. Well, it's going to take around 4.5 hours with a Type 2 charger to charge this car. But it shows a little bit higher while we did our testing. So get ready, maybe around 5-6 hours at least to get a complete charge with that car. But we were in extreme cold outside and we did really use the maximum capacity of that battery. If you go for a fast charger, it's going to be able to recharge the car 80% within 40 minutes, which is kind of impressive. 24 minutes for 100K. not too bad. You can even charge this car at home. You've got that portable charger in the rear that you can plug in any regular outlet. But if your battery is empty and you were on the Rex, well, get ready, you're gonna wait a long time. But if you're not in any hurry and you take your cars only once or twice or even 3 times a week, you can plug it at home, no problem, just be patient, it will charge up. But I highly recommend to you to really use the charger, and why not use that incentive of the government to save some money on the installation. While you're going to be driving this car, you're going to see it's really unique in its own way. It's really lightweight with the conception. You've got the use of carbon for the chassis, for the frame. It's 30% lighter than aluminum and 50% lighter than steel. So you've got that low center of gravity also with the weight of the battery and all the repartition 50-50 of the car. And while you're going to be cornering, you're going to see you won't even be deceived, even if this car doesn't have the big suspension, the big tires, just like any other regular electric vehicle out there. You're going to be surprised, I swear to you. You've got different driving modes. So the first one is comfort. You can select it. You will be able to do 130 kilometers with that mode. So we're far from the 200, but this is going to be the perfect mode where you go into the city, you need some good acceleration, you feel like a sporty driving, even the road ahead of you, it's all, you know, flat. If there's hill, it might use a little bit more autonomy, but this car will have a better economy in the city. If you're planning to go on the highway and do long road trip, even if you got the Rex, that's probably not the proper car for you. An electric vehicle will reuse the regenerative force while you're going to be using the electrical engine braking to put that back into the battery. While you're doing highway, you just roll and roll. But while you're in the city, while you're in traffic, it's where you're going to be able to do maximum economy. You've got also an Eco Pro mode. You just press the button and switch into that mode. It will adapt the acceleration. It will also reduce the power of acceleration. So once again, you won't be spending too much. The autonomy will be 30 kilometers more. You have to adapt your style of driving. If you're always fluttering it, you won't be able to do these numbers. With the Eco Pro mode, you can also set the maximum speed limit going from 150 in regular mode to between 90 and 130. So it's up to you to decide. You can configure that through the menu. But if you go with the Eco Pro Plus setting, this is where the car will be able to do its maximum autonomy. You're going to accelerate, but you're going to feel that it's way smoother. You don't feel all that rush of power. You will also have a reduction of the climatization, the defrost, all the electric component. Even your heated seat will be deactivated. The range is a 20% increase over the comfort mode. So this is going to be the mode that you're going to have to choose if you want to do maximum mileage with the car. But in winter, it's not the best mode to use. Without any climatization, you're going to see that those windows get foggy really quickly, and your toes will probably tell you also that it's cold outside. The weight repartition is 50-50, I told you, but when you get behind the wheels, you're going to be surprised with that car. Acceleration with this car are fast. You're going to be able to do 0-100 in 8.1 seconds with the Rex. Remove that engine and you're going to be able to lower that to 7.3. 150 kilometers will be the top speed on the car. The 50-50 weight repartition, you really feel it when you get behind the wheel. For acceleration, the car feels strong. The car feels confident while you're going to be stepping on it. But while you're going to shift into eco mode, well, get ready because it's not going to be that much responsive. If you're driving this car during the winter, yes, you can simply turn off the traction control, but with those little skinny tires, you will see that you will need more grip to get out of those bad conditions. So get ready if you go into a snowbanks, because it's the only place where you can park your car. Be careful, you might get stuck with those little tires while you're going to be accelerating. Boom, the car will just stay there. But the cool thing is rear wheel drive, so you don't have those wheel spin that you have in the regular configuration of the other manufacturers. So you won't have to fight with the steering, you know, with that massive torque that an electrical engine can produce. Braking, even if you don't use it often, you're going to see that it's really interesting. You can simply use the electrical engine braking And it's really important because it's going to regenerate that energy and put it back into the battery to give you better autonomy. But if you need to use the brake, you're going to see that it's impressive. You step on it, you've got an easy modulation, you've got a good feeling out of those, even if the tires are so skinny. They really give you the confidence of having a good braking distances. The direction is fast, it's precise. That's what we like in a BMW car. Well, it's not like a BMW 3 Series, but for an electrical car, it's interesting. You've got those sharp turns that you can do. The turning cycles is so small. Once again, you can see the wheels while they are fully turned, how well they can give you an angle to really do those little parking maneuvers or just turning around a breeze. The only downside is when you're going to be on the highway, you know, those skinny tires at high speed. With an imperfect road, you will have probably to correct some time to be sure that you stay on the track. So the road handling is really impressive for this car. It might be a mix between the weight repartition, but it's more the low gravity center that really showed. It's typical BMW driving for an electric car. It's really interesting. The comfort, you've got a nice seat in the car, great visibility all around, but the only downside is that adjustment. You can adjust the seat in many ways. You can even lower it, as you can see right now, but I really need to pull the handle, but it won't go up. I need to pull myself to go up. So if it's a kid or a children and it wants to adjust the seat, it might not be able to do it. But still, great command, easy access to everything inside the car. You've got that nice room, comfortable seat, and it really shows that BMW put a lot of quality in that vehicle. Nice sound system, Harman Kardon, all the technology that you need also inside the car. That's really impressive what they've been able to do. A little point though, while you're going to be driving in winter, climatization need always to be on, but you need that to make sure that your windows won't get foggy, but to stay also comfortable inside the car. But while you're going to be using the defroster, the heated seat, you're going to lose autonomy. So you won't be able to do exactly what BMW has told us on paper. Security, well, you don't get that many security features with that car. You've got pedestrian detection, you've got collision warning alert, you don't have any blind spot monitor. That's probably what I would have loved to have with the car. No cross traffic alert. You've got that clear, nice rear view camera. This is so cool. And some parking assistant. So if you're not good at parking, well, you can choose the option so that the car will help you park in those tight parking space. And even if this car is small, that's a perfect thing to have. You will have the possibility to disable or enable some system by pressing the button right there on the car. You also have good lighting, adaptive headlight. And this car, even if it's small, feels secure. BMW is thinking about the future even when they build and design this car. The platform will be able to evolve with the technology over time. So you can be sure that BMW will adapt the frame of this car, the chassis of this car with all the new technology over time. In the build process, it needs power. A factory needs power. They're using wind to give power to those big factories. So it's a big save for the environment. Also water, they're using it to build plastic. They reduce the consumption of water at 70% in that process to really save once again. Even the light of the sun is used. You can see that their factory have many glasses, many windows to get all the light possible inside those factories without spending powers. I really like the philosophy of BMW with that. So when I look at BMW's work, it's really impressive. They really think about the future with this car, and I think they're on the right track. The car is fun to drive, the car is full of technology, and this is the vision that I have also for a car of the future. An electrical car where you don't have any worries about the mileage, the autonomy with the option of the Rex. This is a perfect. It's not a big engine. It's got a big electrical engine in this car, and it's really impressive what they have done right now. So I can't wait to see the future of the BMW series i3. Right now, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about this car? Does it impress you? Are you an electrical car owner? If yes, do you like this car? Would you change your car that you have for this one? Or share your experience if you own a BMW i3. It's been around for a few years. I want to hear from you guys. The comment section down there below. Do a thumbs up if you like that video. Don't forget to subscribe to Car Question. Yes, press there. Did you press? Yes. Excellent. So there you go. Take care. We'll see you another time on another video of Car Question.